Okay, so, alright, do it. Okay, good. Alright, so I'm going to take a tour of everything that I've built here on Mistrealm. I'm going to start here at the very beginning. This is where it all began. This was all just cliffs and a pool. And I carved this house initially out just straight into the wall. Carved it all out. My daughter came and changed the name. I'm gonna sleep so it can be daytime. I built on this server for a couple years before my youngest started playing, and then eventually she came over here to where I first began and kind of took the compound over because I moved on to other places. And so while I did build I was a little checkerboard crazy here. I built this at one point, built this archway. She came over and added all the beacons and started to build a big dragon up here. This is the tail and the legs. Got a little toothless there. I built the tower. It was just when I was getting my feet under me on Minecraft, so this was fun. Then my middle daughter Katie and our friend Ethan came over and built this compound here and this one here. Maggie, so between my daughters and Ethan, they built this whole compound here. But I started here, put those trees up there, expanded the walkway here, and built the pillars here. Looks kind of cool. I don't know, like I said, checkerboards is kind of my thing. And when I first built here, I was using a different texture pack that made this all look different. I like the way it looks now, but it looked better before. Carved this place out here. I don't think there's a door over there. I think it's over here, actually. This was back when I would just carve things out and then put checkerboards and, you know, just very basic designs. There's a room up here I didn't do anything with. Yeah, you get the idea. Each place I used to build, I would put a lava pit here so I could get rid of things. Any junk I didn't need, I would just pitch in there and it would burn. I built this walkway. Ethan built the bridge. We could go that way or this way, so I'm going to start this way because this is where I first began when I was expanding. Ethan and Katie put this jungle forest in here, which is kind of cool, actually. Especially at night, it's kind of creepy. Different than the naturally spawning ones, which have all the foliage on the ground too, which is kind of annoying. This one, they just planted off a bunch of super ones, and yeah, it's kind of cool. I built a little shack here out of the... Yeah, let me get back to the walkway here. So, built a platform here. Something blew up and I didn't have enough to fix it, so I just left it, but that was forever ago. Let me see if I can get this to paint over here so you can see the whole thing. There we go. That was my first legitimate castle that I built up there. Freestanding, not just like carving out of something. Let me come back over here to the viewing platform. So you can see what I looked at when I first saw was just the water and all these cliffs. I thought this would be a good place to build. So I spent a lot of time in the nether gathering netherrack, which I cooked into nether bricks and built this big netherrack castle up here. Let's go take a look. I was all into walkways back then. I actually built this after I built the things over there, but we'll go take a look in a minute. Cobblestone, netherrack, and spruce wood. A little sleeping chamber. Big open balcony overlooking the farm that another player built. Can't really see it because I didn't finish painting it out there, but there's lots of yards with animals there. Nice view. I should adjust the drawing distance so you can see all that over there. because you can't really see it right now. Okay, up here on the roof, yes, it snows. There's a tower over here, which was fine. And a big outdoor balcony, and you get the idea. Alright. A couple tree planters. Might as well stay over here. Back down and around. There is more stuff on the other side of that, but we can get to that later. This, I didn't continue the pathway, I just ended it in the stairway. But then I came over here. Do this the fast way here. So there's the first castle I built. That's where we just were. I'm going to take you through the inner pathway to get up there. No checkerboard. Nice. Very cool. Before I head up there, I'm going to take a quick... No, that's not where I need to go. I need to go here. I don't remember how to get down there. I guess you go down. Here we go. I built a room under the water out of glass, which took me a long time before I knew how to do it right. I would just go underwater and build a glass frame, fill it all up with sand so that it would kill all the water nodes, and then excavate out all the sand again so that it left it just hollow like this, and of course checkerboard floor. Didn't do anything with the hallway I should have. Let's go back up. Alright, I could go that way, but I'm not. I'm going to go up here instead. This was my first... I carved this all out. It was a pre-existing cave system, but I just smoothed it all out and evened it out, and you know, just to make it a little more palatable, I thought. Walkway. My castle's up there. Let's go take a look. And again, I just carve out random stuff and build random rooms. This one's got gravel and cobblestone. Whoops. That leads back down, but let's go up, shall we? Up here. This was it. This was my first castle free build that I built on this elevated platform here. And actually what I did is I went into creative and practiced building and then took the notes and came back and built it here. It's nothing too spectacular, but sentimental reasons. It's like the first attempt I'd made at a castle. Looks interesting with this texture pack. Anyways, there's my first skyscraper in the background. We'll go take a look at that. Bum, 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 bum. First I want to go down here. Show you the underground chamber here. Put a spawner there, but it doesn't work because it's not dark enough. I didn't know that, but I left it anyways. This was my first skyscraper build. This leads back down to that compound I was telling you about. We were just in there. Checkerboard's confusing. Creeper was here. This looked much better in the other expansion pack, or the other texture pack. But I did this all the hard way. This was before they added flight onto this server, so I would have to build up by building giant stacks of dirt underneath me, like this, sort of as a ladder, you know, and just to get up to ledges and then build more and then come back over and then just stand on it and dig them down to get back down, sort of a poor man's elevator. But when I was clearing this out, I found this underground lava pit, so I decided to cover it with glass and make it the centerpiece here. And there's that. You get up. I had to build stairs everywhere before I could build with flight as an option, so this is my spiral staircase that goes up to the top. And I built a little penthouse up here. I think there's a bed in here. Nope, I never furnished it. There's the front walkway leading up to the compound and my first castle. You see it. You get the idea. Going up. Pretty sparse. Speed it up here. And there's the spire up there. I think it's got fire on the top. I would put another rack up there and light it up. So here I am. This is my first attempt at a skyscraper. That's my second one. Let's go take a look. I'm going to bypass all this if you don't mind. It's the view from the outside. Then there was this massive sea that I decided to build another. That's a great underwater compound that I added to it. But initially I decided to make 4 glass pyramids and make them as the pillars to hold up a giant, well, you see, a giant tower that I was hoping to build all the way to the very top that they would let you build. I think it's 257, something like that. It's a waterfall there. And so yeah, I built out the grid first, made sure it was all the equidistant and all that. And then again I did this all the hard way with stacks of dirt as my elevators. So all 4 of the pillars have this spiral staircase in the center. It's all symmetrical. I should find, although it does look nice at night, I should find some place to sleep and make it turn to daytime again. Anyways, this is all open. You can plummet to your doom here. I put a little garden in the middle here. Hey, there's sometimes creatures spawn in here. There's a cow. I'm going to do this. Okay, hello Mr. Cow. All my places to cook. All this, I just will go down and get all kinds of sand and then cook it and turn it into glass and use the glass to make panels and cubes. So again, all 4 of the pillars have the spiral staircase leading to this level. As you can see, that one goes down, but we'll go there later. And then this leads, we can go even higher, go all the way to the top. So this is the roof of the walkways, the hallways down there. There's the waterfall that I put from the top. You get the idea. Rather than climbing it, I'm just going to fly so it goes faster. And here's this level, which is kind of cool. There's the garden I was telling you about. We just slept down there. More checkerboards. Again, I did this all the hard way. All in survival too. I didn't do any of it in creative. Then I built this switchback staircase system here. You get the idea. I'll go out here and show you. It kind of winds around there. Hugs the side all the way up and up near the top, which, trust me, in survival mode with no flight, that was one false move and I was done, unless I fell in the water, of course. And here's that. I built a glass walkway so I could see all the way down. Kind of cool. And then this goes up to my final little penthouse place up here. Not very big, but here we are up near the top of the build limit on the map, the server. There's my first skyscraper there, my first castle that we looked at, the Netherrack castle there. Walkways, there's the bridge that Ethan built. And I put a cross up here. So right there, the top of the cross is the very height that you can build on the server, which I think, again, is 257. You know what? Let's do this the easy way. And back down to where we started. We walked the glass walkway to go in there before, but if you go down here, again, I did this the hard way. You build the glass shell, fill it with sand, and then kill all the sand. You excavate it all out again, and it leaves this this shell here. And there's nothing here. It's just it's just, I thought it would be cool. More checkerboard. And when you come over here, there's a pit, and it leads to down there. And you know, there's a lot of nonsense down there, but we won't take the time to look at that now. Let's go back up here. Now I made this walkway here that leads to the next area where I built my next massive tower. But you can get there the same way. You can either walk that pathway that hugs the shoreline, or you can go down in this. Instead of going up like we did before, if you just continue down. All the way down here. Again, I carved an underground, well, you see it, it's an underground hallway. This took a long time. And if you spit up out here, then you got an outdoor platform thing. My daughter Maggie built that. Put the beacon. She's kind of a beacon addict. There's the tower we were just in. In the other texture pack, this looked awesome, but in this one, not so much. She started to build an avatar of her character, but finished about halfway through. Yep, more checkerboards. Don't worry, I didn't. Eventually stopped doing the checkerboards. I built an underground base here, and then my gigantic friggin' tower here, which is crazy. I made it octagonal base. Let's see if it finishes painting here. You see that? Here's the middle. Oops. Hold that thought. And if you look up, that's what that is. And again, I did this the hard way with stacks of dirt as my elevation system, and one false move and I'm dead kind of thing. I left the water in here. You get the idea. Again, symmetrical. I put staircases everywhere. There's the ladder to lead up. I'll just fly up here fast. More places to store. My initial intention was to fill these big squares with pixel art using stained glass, but I never got to it. That's kind of cool looking. Whoops. Ah, that was me. I did that. I just knocked over the mic. Sorry about that. And I put the other ladder to climb up over here. And this will take us to the very top. Again, back in the day, they didn't have flight, so I had to put stairs and ladders everywhere if I wanted to get up to the top. And penthouse up here. More flaming netherrack. More checkerboards, only with 3 types of wood this time instead of just 2. That's a cool view there, looking down through the floor. And this is awesome. This is one of my favorite things I've built. And if you take the stairs up to the top, again, that's as high as the build limit on the server will let you go. Put a layer of netherrack flaming. Cool. Alright, you get the idea. was a creeper. And if you go down here in the base and go this way, then you... I built underwater checkerboards with glowstone. Ask me why I did that. I have no idea. It took a long time and I don't think anyone's ever seen it. But here's the main base that I used while I was constructing the tower. My incinerator. Tools from Dad. See this? See, all that's underwater right there. And if you go down here is my quarry down here. Lined it with wood. This is where I carved out all of the cobblestone that I used to build the tower. And then I decided to checkerboard everything. God, this is so... took me so long. I just squared it all off, kept going up and building and coming back down and carving more and building, and then this was as far back as I got. And then I was done with the tower, so I decided just to stop. And if you continue down on the staircase, that's where we just came from. If you continue down, down here is where I would harvest all my diamonds so that I can keep making pickaxes and keep getting cobblestone. So yeah, these are just endless hallways. And then the server owner put the portal here to another. I won't go up there now. I did spend a lot of time building in that other world though, but we'll go there some other time. Alright, so that's the big tower. That's my second massive one. Waterfall looks cool from here. Okay. Trust me, we're just getting started. In fact, I should probably stop this video here, and then we'll start up another one and enter the sand world. In fact, I think I'm going to do that. So episode 1 is over. Back to game. Okay, episode 2. We just got done looking at all the stuff that I built early on in my time here. I'm going to take you on this. This is kind of cool, actually. Because it's just, well, you get the idea. I built it using slabs, and it kind of created this cool pattern with the water. Alright, so this was a massive sand area over here, so I decided I would continue the theme and build some pyramids. So this was my very first pyramid. This is like tiny compared to what I did further on, which I'll show you, but this was the very first one. I built it with cobblestone every 5th layer. Hello, Mr. Creeper. Again, it's a small one. No. This is the second one I built, much like the first, only with carved sandstone instead of cobblestone every 5th layer. Again, nothing special on the inside. They're all hollow. A couple obelisks. That one I finished, this one I didn't. This is just a base compound that I made, carved out of a little plateau, squared it off, did some decorating. This is my chests and things. Place to sleep over here, which I'm gonna do because it's nighttime and I want you to see. Lots of stuff going on down there that I won't bother you with. Okay, so that's my second 2 obelisks. Here's the third one I built, much like the first 2. Again, nothing interesting in here. I didn't even finish lining it with torches to keep enough light. Here I got a little experimental. I did a 3/4 one and left it open so I could leave all this dirt and just make it well lit. So yeah, and then I built this little sunken area here that kind of continued the motif. Just experimenting. Kind like it. Open air, little place to here, little miniature. In fact, I think there's something inside there, isn't there? Is there a way in? Oh yes, this is a little one. I built this room in here. Has a good vibe to it. Started a walkway, but it doesn't really lead anywhere. Unfinished. But I dig this room. Then I decided to go bigger and build a much bigger pyramid, so I widened the base. Built a staircase up to the top. It's mostly over water. View from the top's pretty nice. Pretty good. And of course I wasn't satisfied, so I wanted to make an even bigger one. So I connected this walkway over here. I think I made the base of this next one 150 spaces wide. You'll see it as it spawns here. Yep. This one took me a long time and a lot of materials to build. In case you're wondering where I got all the materials, what I would do is, see this whole area here? Everywhere that there was sand, I would just dig all the sand and collect it all. And then under the sand is usually a couple layers of sandstone, and I would harvest all that out. And then I would fill everything back in with all the cobblestone that I'd collected elsewhere, and square it all off, and then put a single layer of sand back on it to make it nice and flat. So I would do that endlessly. Oh my gosh. Let me show you what it looks like inside. I'd put torches on every 5th layer of carved, and then every 10 spaces. I would start from the corners and go 3 blocks, and then every 10 spaces I would do that so that it formed a perfect grid here. Well, as close to perfect as you can get. Stop it. There you go. Fill all that in there. Alright, here we go. The rest of it's just random. There's a little pool here. Let me go back out the way we came in so that it'll make more sense to you. Endless torches here. Lined it with cacti. Railway system is here. Did a little wiggle thing here with the sand. I just got a little crazy with the pyramid design. Lined everything with either leveled it off or else lined it, staggered it like the side of a pyramid. So I've got this wall here that's sort of a pyramid wall. Another pyramid over here. Not quite as big as that one, but pretty big. Well, you get the idea. This is when I started adding staircases on all the sides. Kind of like it. Up and over. I think there's an obelisk over here. Yeah, there it is. That goes all the way up to the top of the map build limit, I believe. 257. Yeah, you get the idea. I think I did other stuff over there, but I don't remember. Alright, let's go back over here. Sorry about that. So there's that biggie. I built this weird wall with cactuses on top that I never hung around long enough for them to grow full. Here's a compound here with another giant obelisk. An outdoor platform here with a bed. I kind of like the look of that. Up there we'll go in a minute. Under here, this was all just open air, and I built a roof over the top of it, but then I kept it the way it was so that it just looked kind of cool. I scattered some light around so you could kind of see it. There's another pyramid over here. There's the rail line I was telling you about. But yeah, I built a little Parthenon thing up here. Pillars. I think I put sand on the top, yeah. Obelisk. There's another one of these. The thing that's cool about this one is that the rail line goes through it, so if you're riding, you go inside of it, which is kind of cool. I left all this. I didn't clear all this out. I left it all because I just liked the way it looked and felt in here. So in and out. Diamond-shaped staircases there. There's that obelisk. There's the cupboard place. I did another one here. You get the idea. I was just winging it. You know how it is. Now over here I did another Parthenon thing, but I decided to do one that was completely square. So they've got fountains on top, a dirt pyramid that I covered with trees, but you get the idea. It was just a platform checkerboard, of course, and pillars after pillars after pillars, which I thought was fun. It's bisected with another rail line here. In fact, if you go inside that dirt pyramid is hollow, you can go up here and look inside. So I spent all this time working on these things that no one's ever going to find, but if they do, it might be kind of cool. Cool little thing to find. Now here's the Parthenon, the square one that we were just in. So if you follow this line, there's where we were, the big obelisk and all that. But if you follow this across the water here, you go to my next part of my sand kingdom. I decided, alright, here's what I did. It's a little walkway, a little covered tunnel there. But I made like conjoining pyramids here. And my first, they're asymmetrical, so they're not the same design. They're the same height, but as you can see, the design is different. And this one's open it's closed on the corners, and this one the corners are open and they've just got pillars a little farther in. And if you go down here, down the stairs, you see I got a little crazy with the wood paneling here. Then I left the dirt in the water here, sort of to give it a, and then I blended it and left it open to the jungle here, so it's like the jungle's taking it back over again is what I was trying to do. So I left it incomplete and let the trees kind of break through it here. More checkerboard, of course. Pillars and fountains, those were a big deal to me at this time. And this is a little my hideaway here where I could store all my stuff and sleep when I needed to. Built a little platform here, but here comes our gigantic friggin' city. I don't know what I was thinking. I had this large open space, so I decided to build like a platform on pillars. And then I built that first layer there. Let the whole thing paint here, because I've got 3 layers and 3 sets of pillars here. I don't know if you can see that. I didn't finish painting, but I've got 1 layer here. You climb up inside the pillars, actually. This is how you get up from the ground, inside one of these pillars here. This first one here. You climb up here. I wish it would finish painting. But I put grass down there. I was going to plant a big garden, but this is as far as I got. So this is the first layer. And then I built up. Again, this is all the hard way with layers of, with dirt stacks to get up and down and try not to plummet to my doom. This is the second layer. Open, so you got to be careful. And then the third layer up here near the top, with water in it for some reason. I decided to add water. Took forever to fill that manually. I built this tower to connect to all 3 levels if you wanted to just kind of go up on its own without having to go through the central pillars and all that. So I don't know really what I was thinking when I built this, but I kind of like the look of it. Madrak, the owner of this server, decided to build a big stash house for me and gave me tons. He's admin, so he could do that. Ridiculous chests full of sandstone and stuff. Hey, what do you know? More checkerboards. That looks pretty cool at night. I didn't finish lighting the top. Here's another partial kind of pyramidic type situation. That's pretty cool. I kind of like it. Alright, over here I built, this is where the railway is actually. I kind of like that design. Built another gigantic pyramid here. Again, I harvested all the sand by leveling everything out, digging out all the sand, all the sandstone, filling it up with cobblestone and dirt and gravel and whatever else I had that was rubbish. And then I just put 1 layer of sand back to level it all out. I wish it was to draw faster. This is all open to water here. These were 3 towers that were here. I don't know who built them at some point in the past, but I kind of incorporated them into what I was doing. Over here is another gigantic pyramid that I built out of 4 pyramids. Actually, I started one here, as you can see, this size. And then I decided to do something similar than I did with the pillar, the glass tower before. So I built 4 next to each other that were kind of open. And then I decided to connect them all into one great big one and add some walkways. That's what these are here. So you can see how it looks when we back up a little bit. It looks like this. Finished drawing. So it's basically a giant pyramid that's kind of bisected with a big X shape on several different levels, cutting it into quarters. I left all the grass. Here's the upper walkway. Got some snow. Again, a big structure that took forever and probably no one's ever seen it, but that's alright. If you continue over here, there was more sand, so I had some more building to do. Alright, here's a ravine here, and I'm going to stop and detour here just to show you what I did, which I don't know why. I thought I'd get it into my head to carve out a layer of cobblestone all the way around and replace it 1 block at a time with sandstone, and then replace the ground with sand or sandstone. So I just thought, I wondered what this would look like if it was like a sandstone ravine instead of your traditional stone ravine. So this, I'm ashamed to admit how long this took me to do, but and again, probably no one's ever seen that. I did the same thing over here with this. Where is it? This right here. I carved all the stone off. I left the dirt alone. I carved all the stone off, left the gravel there, and just replaced the stone with sandstone. So it's dirt and sandstone instead. All the way down to the base, all the way up to the top. That's gravel there. So every place there was stone, I replaced it with sandstone. Just, I don't know why. Just to see what it looked like, I guess. All this sand is 1 layer deep. And underneath that, there's no sandstone. I harvested all of it for that big pyramid monstrosity over there. This is just a terraced place that I made. I had plans to build another big obelisk here, but I decided not to. So yeah, this is as far as I went this way. So let me go back, we'll take this to show you where I built next. This is taking too long. I may speed this up in post. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Where are you? There we go. Alright, so there's more sand over here. So, again, this is all one layer deep. I harvested everything. Built this weird little compound over here. Entrance is over here. Quarried out a bunch of cobble here and lined it all up with sand and sandstone. I think there's an exit over here. Yep. How do you get into this upper part again? I think you go in through the roof? That wouldn't make sense. Just strange designs on the floor. I think I was going to fill it with water, but I never did. Oh, here's the entrance. Alright. Rail continues that way, but I built a extension over here, and I'll end this part of the video. You know what? Yeah, this is going to take a long time to show you what I built over here, so I'm going to stop this one right here. Okay, this is part 3. I just showed you the vast sand kingdom over there. I did some more sand work over here that I want to show you at the end of this walkway here. So up here was my little station where I stored everything and cooked everything I needed for this next part, which hasn't finished painting yet. Let's start over here. I built a giant castle out of sandstone. Again, the other texture packet looked different than this, but this doesn't look too bad. So there, finished painting. This is the front facade. It's underwater walkway to get around. And then I built the checkerboard platform one layer under the water, which, go ahead, ask me why. I have no idea. Go away. Go away. Punk. Really? You too. Okay, so go ahead, ask me why I did all this. I don't know, I was just experimenting. I decided to stagger it all underground. Carved out this giant section here. Lined the ceiling here, making it all stripy. That's a wall that I think goes underwater. Shows underwater anyways. And then I did it again. I carved another layer and I staggered it all inside so it has this cool kind of visual effect as it gets narrower and narrower. There it is, looking back up. Down here, little sconces with torches. And this area down here, which I never did anything with. But it looks cool. I like it. I mean, I don't know. It's kind of a satisfying set of lines and evenly spaced torches and all that. If you go up here, actually, down here's another cubby area where I hung out and stored stuff. What is that? Must be andesite or whatever. Then I built outer facades. Kind of like that. Did some sculpting terrain here, made it all even, looking nice. these pillars here, you can go inside and look all the way down to the ground or look all the way up here. You get the idea. Alright, back over here. I made this facade so it looks kind of like an eagle. I don't know if it'll finish painting or not. Load, load. Alright, there you go. That's kind of cool. I guess, I don't know if you're into that kind of thing. This I just sculpted out. That was another place where I carved out a bunch of cobble to make stuff. There's a walkway lined with lava, leading to this weird area over here. My cactus forest here. Here are some, it's like floating, it's like a floating garden, floating jungle tree garden, each on a pillar that's either filled with lava or filled with glowstone, kind of alternating. I have no idea why I did it again, just experimenting, I guess, because I'm experimentally retarded, I guess. Some underground stuff or underwater stuff I'll show you in a minute, but if we go back over here to the cactus forest, we can enter into this compound here, which again, sorry about the checkerboards. At least I got a little more creative with that diamond shaped checker thing. But yeah, this was another compound where I hung out while I was building this area. Pyramid roof. In the other texture pack, this looked a lot better. I know I keep saying that, sorry. If you go down here, I didn't finish building this, but this was the walkway that was leading to this underwater section here. There's the forest. Kind of cool. And again, I carved all this out one bit at a time. Let's just go up here. So I don't even know what to call that compound there. It's kind of strange. Over here I built an inverted pyramid, my first one. You'll see it in a second when it draws here. Looks kind of cool from the top. It's like big diamond shapes here. From directly above it looks like a square, but as you can see it's kind of a, I don't even know what to call this shape. There's the garden over there, the floating garden, because it's like inverted. I think when I built it from the ground, from the point up, getting taller and taller, and then I decided to just continue two of the sides and square them off like this. So yeah, I don't even know what to call that. Well, as usual, it took me forever to build, and I have no idea what its purpose is. But let's go back over here, because there's more stuff in this direction. Yes, this represents thousands and thousands of hours over, I don't know how many years. Why does it keep disappearing? But I thought I'd at least document it in case the server ever gets destroyed and I lose all these hours. At least I'll have a visual record of some kind. Alright, so if you go over here, more stuff I carved out of sand. Weird little thing there. There's an underwater walkway that leads over here to what we built here. So some underground stuff there, which we may or may not get to. This is another covered walkway here, which I just put lots and lots of pillars. Over here is this weird kind of floating pillar thing. God, this took me forever to build. It was a lot of fun though. It's like therapy. I need it so I can calm myself. Stop it. God, this is so weird. Alright. So that's where we just were. This is another extension of it over here. Again, no rhyme or reason. Lined with cacti. Just a bunch of terraced and sculpted sand stuff. This little weird glass hut was over here already. It was the only thing built, so I kind of commandeered the place and did all this. Oh my god, this took me so long. Ridiculous number of hours I spent building this. I haven't been over here in forever. There's another weird little platform here. And of course more checkerboards. I believe there's stuff down here, but we don't want to go underground right now. Let's go check out this pillar real quick. Oh, you can go inside and look up, but it's, you know, it is what it is. So that's that place. I believe over here there's... What is there? So over here is that weird inverted pyramid thing. Alright. I know there's more this way, but I know it takes a while to get there, so I'll probably speed this up in post. At least until I can get over there. Hope I don't get lost. I don't remember. Was this the rail line? Pretty sure. Maybe not. Nope. I'm sure I'll cut all this out. Where is it? I don't remember how far I have to go. There's the rail line. I'm hoping this is it. Do. Oh, sorry. Come on, show yourself. All right, I'm going to stop this video. Okay, I seriously got lost and had to have Maggie help me find my way back. Okay, so over here, so after... I can stop if you want. What's up? So after spending years in the sand, I decided to branch out into the tundra here. So I found a really cool formation over here and decided to build up some sandstone stuff. Maggie came over and helped me by building this Cool dragon sculpture into the side of the hill here. Dragon bones. It's kind of asymmetrical. One of the wings has fallen, so to speak. Kind of cool. Anyways, it was a cool kind of mountain formation that had an underhang area here, so I built a little you get the idea. I built this thing clinging to the underside of this rock formation while at the same time building things on top. I'll show you up here. Terraformed all this, built this place here. Not really sure what I was thinking, but there it is. Got this walkway that leads to nothing here. There's the dragon. Leveled all this off, built some platforms up here that I could build more buildings on, but I never did. Elevated walkway here, covered in glass. Another little two-leveled building here with spruce wood and stone. Carved all that so that it's even looking, looks like pillars. More checkerboard. Spiral staircase of doom. Was going to build a walkway, but I never did. Connecting it to this section over here. Another little mountain or hilltop castle. Giant asymmetrical walkway here. And just a place to hang out. I think I've got a little craft bench up here. And if you go on top, there's some storage up here. That's where we were. Here's the first, this was actually the first tower I built in this area. Just a simple square one with some spruce wood and stone and carved stone. 2 sets of doors, although I can't use that one, obviously. Just for decoration. Not a bad design, I don't think. This is the top. Right next, it joins hard up against a jungle forest here, so I built a jungle, kind of a treetop fort here to keep the baddies out. I like that. There's a couple things I wanted to show you. This is my sleeping platform, some storage and some ovens there. I built this elevated gravel and spruce walkway here that's kind of cool. It winds all the way down to a whole nother sand area that I'm going to show you, but before I go that way I want to show you this, what I did here, because there's a rail line here that goes underground, and every now and then it peaks itself up here, so you can see this is where the railway is, and I went through and lined the whole thing with stone. I put some spruce on the sides here and lit it with these kind of little sconces. That's kind of annoying. Hold on, I'm going to close the door. Okay, I'll edit that part out. So, back to the walkway up here. It kind of goes through the trees here. So if you follow this to the end, it leads you, like I said, to another sand kingdom where I've been spending all my time recently, building lots of stuff. But before I go, I'm just going to show it to you real quick, but then I'm going to go take you over there to the other, in the forest. I've got the pit where I spent a year of digging, and I want to show you that because that's pretty cool too. So this walkway ends here when the forest ends, with this sand area here, and all the stuff that hasn't painted. There's tons of stuff right there, but before I go there, I want to take you over here into the pit. This was a place I found that someone had done the thing with TNT where they just kind of they just put tons of TNT and blew this pit. So what I did is I evened it out, took it all the way down to the lava, and carved these areas. I don't know, these terraces, these stories, I guess if you will. Put this walkway over the lava here. Looks kind of cool to look up. And then I spent a ton of time down here carving out cobble to build with, to turn into stone. That's what all of this is here. Put the floor with gravel. Every place there was lava, I just lined it with stone and left it. Except over here where I put glass. Put a little place over there to sleep. Ooh, man, what do I show you first? Alright. When I broke through here and found some of these ravines, what I did was I decided to line it like I did with sandstone in that other video I showed you. I decided to line this whole cavern with stones and carved stone, and every place there was flat, horizontal, like roof, I decided to line it with wood. We put the rail line here so we could take a tour of it in a minute, but I just wanted to show you. And I built little rooms. This is all inside. And again, no one will probably ever find this. God, this took me so long to build. Everywhere there's floor, I did gravel, and everywhere there's roof, I did wood. And everywhere on the side, I used stone bricks and also carved stone. But I just really wanted to see what it would look like, and I do like the look of it. And then there's a connecting walkway here to, God, there's so much here, to another cavern, but I lined differently. I lined with, what did I use there? This texture pack, I have no idea. Wood of some kind, right? But again, I did the gravel on the floor. I outlined each level there with wood and then put whatever that is. Oh my gosh, I don't know. You get the idea. And I added some more lava waterfalls here. Lava falls. God, and this leads up to the top, but I don't want to show you that yet. I put the railway on the side here. More lava. And then it dead ends into yet another cavern, which I left unfinished. I started to line it in random stuff. See there? And I couldn't decide how to proceed. I kept changing my mind and removing stuff and adding stuff. I decided to make the floor all sand on this one. But again, I left this all unfinished because I didn't... I started it but didn't finish it. If you go back up here, it goes all the way out again. So this rail line kind of can take you on a tour of the pit and then back out again. Goes around this. You see here, I lined all that with sand and spruce, I think that is. Let's go back down. The big lava room here that of course I added walkways around. Glass walkways leading out to my platform where I spent time storing and cooking stuff. Yeah, you get the idea. This walkway I decided to line with glass, and just on the other side of the glass I got some shears and went out and got some, I think those are oak leaves, I'm not positive. Lined it with wood. Kind of like that look. Not bad. There's panels here instead of cubes. Alright, now we're back into the big room that we started out at the bottom of the pit. Let me fly over here real quick. So, let me grab a cart. And I want to take you on a tour. Let me grab one of these. I'm going to take it up to the top. Because the track goes all the way through all of that. So if you go back here to where the main line is... Oh, there's one already here. That's the pit there with all the stories. This room that I didn't show you. There's the base of the pit in there. Little laggy. We didn't power this right, so I have to hopefully get up there, Okay, good. Lots of places to get off and explore. I tried to line everything with stone. I don't know, it's just pleasant to be able to tour something that represents so many ridiculous hundreds and hundreds of hours. Putting lots of little touches in places that you think no one's ever going to see this. So why am I doing it? Like again, like I said, it's therapy. I hit times where I just want to think about stuff, so I just have to do something kind of mindless and creative with my, I don't know what you want to call it, with part of my brain, while the rest of my brain thinks about the stuff I need to think about. So instead of just sitting there staring at a wall, I can think and just do this kind of stuff and build. This is the end of the line over here. Kind of joins a little bit up where it was before. You get the idea. Okay, so worthy is the lamb. So there's the pit. 13 minutes on this one. That's where we just toured all down in there. So if you come back out here, that's the end of the gravel and spruce walkway that we visited earlier. This is another sand kingdom, and this is where I've been spending most of my time lately. There's a little place to sleep in there. In fact, I should probably do that. Oh look, I'm almost getting hungry. Let's see. Oh, I can't because Maggie's on. Hey Maggie, can you sleep real quick? I'll edit this out. Thank you. Alright, that's where we were. Okay, now, how do I explain this? First thing I built was, this is the unfinished sand castle. I started to build a castle here and decided to abandon it. This is a place where I'm storing a lot of my stuff. Here's a river that I kind of carved and smoothed out and lined with sand. Boy, I don't even know how to begin. There's just so much to talk about here. Well, you can see it. This is my main base while I'm here. My storage, my bed, crafting, anvil. Let me eat something here real quick. This is like an elevated river. So what I did is, well, as you can see, the ground was this level, so I lined it I walled it with glass here and then dug this whole area down. I needed the sand and the sandstone anyway, so it wasn't really that big a deal. But the effect of the elevated river is kind of cool, actually, because it winds all the way around there. Here's another giant L-shaped, like Parthenon type thing. Gigantic. I was going to do a complete square, but I ran out of room. So it kind of goes that way. Here's the last two pyramids that I've built. This one has got a couple slots that are open and then a glass top with a beacon on it. You can look down in there. I was harvesting the... Whoops. Stop it. The sand out of there. All I've got is just that strip there. That's all one deep. The rest of it I haven't harvested all the sand and sandstone yet. Here's the railway. Here's the other big pyramid that I built. Again, every 5 layers of stone, or every 5th layer is carved sandstone instead of just regular, just to break up the monotony of it a bit. This one has a place on top. Again, I started the harvest, but I didn't do all of it yet, just this large area here. It's got kind of a cool vibe to it. I died in the air one time. I forgot I was online and I was just hovering here and I starved to death. And so, yeah, October 2018. Almost done here. So there's some storage down here. I mean, I kind of like the clean lines and the clean design. The big checkerboards here. See, I've grown. But it's a cool area. I decided to line this recently with sand and put some grass in the corners, which I'd hoped would eventually expand so that it would be green instead of brown. Looks like it's starting to grow. Okay, so there's my 2 last pyramids that I've built, and a platform here that I was going to build a sphinx, but I haven't come up with a good design yet. But the paws will come here and kind of stretch back that way. And then when I go down here, I'll build an area down here where I've been carving more checkerboards. I'm going to build like an underground theater down here. Between the paws of the entrance will be between the paws of the sphinx when I get the sphinx built. Fountain that stretches this direction, more terraces. Mostly I do that because I'm lazy and I don't want to fill the whole thing up. And I like see this area here, it's pretty cool. More, this is what I've been doing lately. I'm taking this random river shape and I'm smoothing it out. And, well, this one over here anyways. I built this platform over here, and I'm building, this is what I was doing yesterday. I was building this, I'm going to kind of hand make my own tree, so I'm going to get a lot of leaves and just kind of make this thing huge, because there's this kind of a natural platform here that I thought would look good with a big tree. But yeah, working underwater and smoothing all this out and lining it all with sand may seem crazy, but it's, like I said, helps to keep me sane. So yeah, I think that's about it. Lots and lots, thousands of hours that I've spent doing all this. It's ridiculous. I could have saved a lot of time by just working in creative, but I decided to do it all in survival anyways. The only time I go to creative is when I get a bunch of extra diamond tools and enchanting books so that I can keep using them. So I don't have to go down and dig a bunch of diamonds up. I can just straight grab them from the creative inventory. But that's it. At least got it documented now. That might not have been interesting to anyone but me, but At least now if the server dies, I've got some sort of record of everything. Almost everything. There's a lot of underground stuff I didn't show. But yeah, alright, that's it.